Hi everyone and welcome to episode number 65 of Ask Jim. So we're still going well and lot to talk about tonight. So we've actually had a few questions and comments that came via the week. They've come via multiple channels, so I've written them down here and we'll get into it straight away. I just want to mention to everyone that we went out with Jim's fencing this week for 3 days. Benny's in the background. We've been there since 7:30 and we've actually done the job from start to finish over 3 days. It's a lovely picket fence in Brunswick, so staying true for that one as well. And we actually did a lot of mowing content last week. I don't know if you saw us on the lawn, Jim, but we had a franchisee, John Wilds, and his franchisors come out and we had a lot of great content which we're looking forward to releasing with you guys. And we've got 70 people watching now, so let's get straight into it. So during the week, we had questions submitted to us, and the ones who do submit it to us via the week, via social channels, we'll try and do first. So let's get straight into it, Jim, okay? So the first one we had, which was to Jim Penman's Instagram page, which is at the Jim Penman. And this was a question from Stephen. Now, Stephen messaged you and said, "Hi, Jim. Are you scared of a younger generation entrepreneurs taking over the service industry, or are you proud of younger guys coming into the market to try and compete with you?"
I wish we could get more younger entrepreneurs coming into the service industry. We are desperately in need of franchisees, and younger generation of Australians aren't quite so keen. Everybody wants to sit down and do a university course and then sit with a managerial job. So I'd be delighted if people come in. You can compete with me, you can become part of me, whatever. We need you.
What advice would you say to this? I think they might come in from the competition angle, someone trying to disrupt it. What advice would you... Because over the years you've had people come in and say, we're going to take over and we're going to disrupt you and stuff. So what advice would you have for them?
Oh, have a go at it by yourself, and then when it doesn't work out, so we'll come and talk to us. I mean, we can do a lot for you. Yeah. In fact, we actually breed our toughest competition. I mean, people don't this, but Fox Mowing, which is one of our competitors, actually started by one of my franchisors. So people come into gyms, they learn their trade, and they go out and they compete with us. But quite often what they do is they launch new divisions too, and they do great things for us. So we would rather have a lot more young, thrusting entrepreneurs around, that's for sure.
I think it's great, and I think it's great you're going into the service industry. You know, most people... It might be a tech-based thing you're doing, I don't know, to disrupt it, but I think, you know, if you've gone into that service industry and you're trying to help people out and provide better service and jobs and stuff and provide a new form of technology, if it's the case, then great.
It'd be very difficult to do what we do because we're so dominant in the field. And also we've got resources. Like, for example, we spend best part of $2 million a year on software development. I mean, nobody else can really afford to do that. In our sort of space. So it's, in actual fact, what's happening is the gap is growing. As gyms becomes more dominant, our competitors tend to be shrinking, if anything.
Yeah, it's interesting because when we had that big kerfuffle with high pages years ago, everyone's worried about high pages, and now we know that they're in a bit of strife.
Yeah, well, as far as I know, they're still losing money. And
I think the figure was $6 million a year.
Clients don't have a good view of them. People have used them. We get a lot of people... Actually, talking about being a competitor, if you want to be a competitor to us, then one of the best ways to do it is through Gyms Plus. What we do with our unserviced leads. We get close to 200,000 unserviced leads a year. So we're quite happy to have them send out to people to compete, if you like. But then what's interesting though is people go to Gyms Plus, they love our leads so much, they actually quite often start to join us. We've had several people come across to join us.
I don't know what your model is, but it's very simple, I guess, from you're always hearing you talk about this stuff, is get the customer service right, but also make it fair if you've got people working for you or whatever, make it fair to them as well. It's not a race to the bottom.
Yeah. Well, we put our franchisees first. I mean, clients are important, but they're important principally because they enable us to keep our franchisees busy. But our what determines our growth is not clients, it's franchisees.
Yeah, and what I would suggest, Stephen, as well, is this book's for free on our gyms.net under Meet Jim. We're reorganising all those pages as I've moved to today to make it a bit easier, but there's a lot of videos and content with Jim, and that book there is a really great one. As you said, it's a lot of mistakes and stuff and what to learn from. Great business advice there.
Yeah, if you want to compete with me, come and learn from me, learn all the stuff. There's a guy in my church that I regularly give help to about... business stuff. He started up a gardening business, lawn mowing, been going for a few years. He's doing alright, he's surviving, which is beating the odds. So
I think it's quite interesting, knowing the founder of Jim's Mowing is there and he wants to go and do it, not via us, which is a bit...
Well, he mightn't be able to afford it.
True. Finance is an issue sometimes.
A little bit of capital to get going.
True. So I'll get down for the comments there, but thanks for that, Steve. We really appreciate you messaging Jim as well. That was awesome.
Yeah, well, good thinking.
Really great.
I'm glad you're looking at the area. It's a brilliant area to be in. Don't forget too, we may have 50 different divisions, but there's probably about 500 things we don't do. So there's so much opportunity out there.
No, good luck, guys. And I reckon you're in the right space, and well done for doing that. Then we've got a few questions and comments we're going to get into here, then one from the pre-ones as well. So, g'day, Steve. I've got your one here as well coming up really soon. David, g'day, David, as well for tuning in. Edwin Das, hi, Jim. I'm very pleased with the franchise I've bought in cleaning.
Good.
Great to hear. We're really happy to hear that.
Pick up in cleaning too. It was a little bit of an issue with the virus. Some people doing well, but generally speaking, leads are coming up.
And Jeremy Harcock, is this live? Absolutely, this is live. We do it live every week from 7 o'clock. And g'day to Haydar. So Haydar's tuned in and said, g'day. I saw Haydar's done an Instagram story in the gym today. He's back in the gym. So g'day to Haydar. Always
Haydar needs to be in the gym. He actually took a lot of weight off. And we managed to put it back on again. So
we had the challenge, which was last year. We might have to do something again.
When we get our sporting complex here, Haydar, you're going to come out and start getting really, really super fit. I'll play racquetball with you.
There we go. Why not? Thanks for watching, always, Haydar. And Paul Kingsgone Joel back with his t-shirt tonight. Absolutely. Paul, that comment stuck with me. He said to me, "Where's your shirt tonight?" So it stuck with me. I remembered Paul. So I did that one as well. Okay, guys, let me have a look here down the questions and comments. All right, so I want to get to one on the sheet, which is real quickly from Steve Walkham, as we mentioned his name before. It says, Jim, thanks for the new release of Jim's Jobs. He's got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Will there be a version for franchisors to download and play with so we can try to be of some assistance to franchisees who use it?
Yeah, you can. Just get on Infotech and they'll give you a test version. The same one that
we've got it, yeah. Infotech@gyms.net, Steve, and the demo version for that. You can play
absolutely.
around.
We want you to do it. We want all of our franchisors to play with as much as possible.
And we have Mike Davenport coming in Thursday and Friday, and we're trying to work on some videos as you've given us top priority to do. So we've got 100 people watching out, which is great, guys. So make sure you share, like, or comment on the feed. Or get to as much as we can. Then he said, also, what time frame do current formatized users have before Jim's subsidising is cut off?
Well, it was supposed to be the 25th, is when the general release is coming, but I've just been told by somebody that they've heard that the formatized transfer won't be available to the end of the month, in which case we'll give you an extra month, because we want to give you at least a week to download and to change over.
You might need a bit longer with some of the feedback I'm hearing as well. So I know there might be
so it may come up at the end of June.
Yeah.
If what people are saying is true, that you can't actually automatically download the formatized data until the end of the month, then we will give you June.
Yeah.
So we're paying for May as it is for formatized users, and if we need to, we'll pay for June.
And he's asked as well, do you know what the standard rate would be for franchisees who decide to stay with formatized? It'll be whatever formatized charges, isn't it?
Yeah, formatized charges is about a bit over $30 a month.
Yeah, that's it there.
Yeah.
So thanks for that one.
If you look, as we say, in a sense, the problem with that is you still have to pay the technology fee, which is to do with general development. But if you try Jim's Jobs for 3 months and you don't like it, and then you want to go back to formatized, we will pay for formatized for as long as you're with us.
So let's keep going down the comments here. I missed a few, I'm not missing it. So it's David McDonald. G'day, Jim and Joel. Geez, I could have used the Jim's diggers yesterday and today. I had to trench 2 Cat6 cables between a medical clinic and a new clinic they are setting up next door. Would have had to do it all by hand. Absolutely, Jim's diggers up in Horsham.
Well, that's good for your fitness anyway.
I was going to say, yeah, you had to dig it by hand. Absolutely, get those arms going. Okay, let's catch up here. Eric Jurgens. Hi, Jim and Joel. I have to say that I'm very excited today as I've had probably the best week ever.
Wow.
I've managed a total of almost 100 photos for Sharon's competition. It can be said that I'm even louder than the dog groomers. Oh yes, thanks to Archie. That helped me this week. So good to have such a great franchisor there for me. He is wonderful, kind, considerate, and an extremely handsome man. Don't know about the last bit, but...
Can I just suggest we don't have Jim's optometrists yet, but you'll find some very good companies that are good at fixing your eyesight.
There we go.
I'll agree with everything else said about Archie. Handsome.
Yeah, probably we're not done with agreements the last one. But Jim's Mobile Cafe, Eric. So glad to hear you're back up and about. Alex Nattles has gone. So is it true that you guys are going for the A League? Well, Jim might not know this, but there's a bit of a. We might be. We never know.
A League.
Yeah, the A League, which is the soccer, the Australian League. Okay, so what happened during the week was there was a bit of there's a page called A League Fair Means, right? So and then someone said, vote for who you want to be the new sponsor of the league. And they had a Jim's one, which was the Jim's with the Mowing sort of colours, the Jim's A-League, whatever, and I think the Jim's A-League won by a mile. So I basically started commenting and saying, this looks like we're going to have to take it up with Jim, all that sort of stuff, and it went viral, those posts. So I took things like that and it's gone viral. So people might think we're doing it, so you never know.
I don't know.
We might.
I mean, if we had a World Diplomacy Championship, that's a board game where you're intrigued over a map of Europe, I might be interested in sponsoring that one.
Yeah,
but as for soccer, not sure.
Well, we're not sure. Not sure is better than no. So not sure. No. We can work on it. So Elena has gone, hi guys, I love watching these events online. Proud owner to be part of the Jim's team. Thanks, Elena. Let us know what division you are. I think maybe Jim's Cleaning or something like that. Thanks for that. Malcolm Bradley. G'day to Malcolm from Test and Tag NZ. Now, have we heard much about Test and Tag in general? How's that going at the moment? Or especially in New Zealand? Let us know, Malcolm.
I don't know,
with
actually.
The leads.
I think we're picking up a little bit in terms of leads.
Yeah.
But certainly New Zealand's come off the more radically than we have here, because the virus is pretty well dead in New Zealand. So hopefully they're going to start getting busy. What we know is going to happen with Test and Tag is they'll get very, very busy because they're going to catch up on all the backlog.
Yeah, it could be a bit of a boom. Let's hope it is. Jason Pollock's g'day and tuned in, so g'day Jason as well. David Gazilla's, if I have time, Jim's spending lean stuff. Absolutely. Alina's gone proud trainer, not owner. Okay, cool. And John Formosa's tuned in as well. Then Tristan's gone as well. Anything about the A-League naming rights? Well, we're not sure yet. Tristan, but thanks for the comment.
Just be aware, I don't actually have much money myself. Franchisors spend the advertising money in Jim's group. And actually the branding fund is the national fund, and that's voted on by the advisory committee. So I actually have very little say in how money is spent.
Let's keep going here. Dave McDonald. Jim, what is the name on your driver's license?
David,
there you go. Good name. I don't know if that was a trick question because his name's David as well.
David J. Penman. David James Penman. That's my legal name. Never got around to changing it.
There you go. Joel Ryan. Hi, Joel and Jim. All going well in Canberra with Mowing. Can I get a book, please? Why not? Can you get a book? He's a franchisee Mowing.
You haven't got a book?
No, this is Joel Ryan up in Canberra, the Mowing franchisee. He goes, can I get a book, please?
But you'd have one from training.
Depends. Well, maybe the other one, green one. Maybe leave a comment or question there, Joel. The green one needs a question or something. Maybe go silent.
Any franchisee gets this one.
Yeah, that's right.
The other one has to be earned.
If you don't have that one, let us know. But you're right. The other one has to.
Because we have to buy it off the publisher.
That's true. And James Halligan gone, is the Jim's A-League stuff a joke? I don't know. Could be not. We're gonna keep twisting the arm on that one. Then Craig.
I told you I don't have any money. Who's going to pay for it? You have to talk to your franchisors about it. Their decision, not mine.
We've done a few. Well, Jim's Plumbing. Jim's Plumbing actually sponsored one of the teams a few years ago, Adelaide United. Jim'sPlumbing.net, and they actually looked great. It was the number one shirt in the league. It's a heritage shirt at the moment. Craig Rope's gone, guys. We just want to thank you both and the Jim's group for sending Jacob a hat and book as promised last week. Very much appreciated.
Oh yes, the young entrepreneur. I wonder if he actually started launching his gardening business yet. I'd love to know.
There was a week between, so it's a week's time. Yeah, never know.
Come on, you got to get moving. You got to start taking on the world in business terms. There's no sense in delaying.
There you go. Thanks for that, Craig, and appreciate it. Hopefully Jacob's enjoying it. And Graham French says, great to be watching again. Thanks for watching, Graham. Appreciate it. Now I've got one here which came from Canada, so hopefully Willie's watching this into it.
Which is 2 o'clock in the morning there, so it's probably unlikely.
You never know. Could be a night out.
Could be. If you're watching, welcome. But
could be a night out. So Willie, you met Willie. He was remember the bloke we had the Canadian franchisees over when we could do the training here. Groundskeeper Willie.
Yeah,
and he had the red beard and everything. So this is Willie, all right? So this was in response to one of the podcasts that we did about the group. It's going, how have leads during COVID been taking average yearly growth into account? I hear everyone saying mowing leads are up compared to last year, but my question, in a normal environment, wouldn't we expect leads to rise every year? If they do go up 3% a year and this year they only went up 1%, it would be as if we lost 2%. While they did technically go up, it's misleading to look at 1 year and not the natural progression.
Well, we're talking about mowing. The fact of the matter is we've got far more mowing leads than we can actually cope with, and that's this year, last year, the year before. So the actual number of leads isn't really the crucial thing. What really determines our growth, as I said before, is number of franchisees, which is prospects. I mean, we've got more work than we can handle. What can you say? Even in the middle of winter. I mean, we're getting into winter time now. Most of our franchisees are completely flat out.
I want to make the point as well. If you are thinking about end franchise, it's a great time, especially for mowing, to get in now, isn't it? To get that.
Because in 3.5 months it's spring, which is the start of the growth period here.
And we know that when you start...
Not in Canada, though.
And we know that when you start in spring, you have a really good chance of doing extremely well.
Yes. Good chance to pick up a lot of regular customers in a hurry, yeah. And then maybe even do a split.
Oh, yeah. Split, absolutely. So, springtime, get in next, inquire now, because the process generally takes 60 to 90 days. That's what we know from data. So maybe do the inquiry now if you're thinking about it, so you can get in for spring if you're thinking about mowing in particular. Michael King, are you still going ahead with the Jim sign franchises? I haven't seen you guys around as of yet, and obviously the recent global circumstances have taken its toll on the industry. How does a potential franchise investor deal with the possibility of low workflow during these times if they were to invest now?
Well, Jim's Signs hasn't got off the ground yet. We're still talking to them, aren't we?
No. Jim's Sign and Print and Uniforms have signed and they're done, but I don't think there's been much done with it. So David, you've met David a few times. I just don't know if it's on hold. They've got a big existing business called Major Media, so I don't know what's happening.
I don't think they've actually launched yet.
You sure? Because I think they're live on the system.
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'd like to see it happen, that's for sure. But yeah, look, as far as lack of work is concerned, it's not usually our number one issue. There are some divisions, like Roll the Doors was one, where we really had a struggle to actually get work for the guys, and most of them have now transitioned to other divisions where there's more work around. But it stands out because it's unusual. For the most part, work is not the issue.
What I would say, Michael, is just put an inquiry through if you want to chat to you're better off chatting to them than us about it. 131546, and they can tell you what's going on. Then Eric Jurgens has gone, as my cafe van is off the road for the rest of the month after an argument with the Roo, I'm looking forward to getting stuck into biohistory that you sent me. He must have hit a Roo, Eric. Gee whiz, when was this?
Come on, that's not... Trying to win arguments with kangaroos isn't really the way to get on. You should try and avoid such things in future.
Read biohistory and have a chat to Jim about it.
Read biohistory and have a chat. Yeah. Always like to talk about biohistory.
There we go. So Chris Vella, why did it take so long to go to the Jim's Jobs version instead of wasting all that money on the original app?
Which original app?
Maybe he's referring to Jimbo? I don't know.
Jimbo is actually a modification of a program that we bought from the antennas division. It looked like a good bet at the time as a way of short-circuiting some of the issues. Just didn't. One of the great things about Jim's Jobs is ease of use, because we've got thousands of people coming into the business, and Jim's Jobs is very, very easy to use. It's very intuitive. Doesn't take a lot of training, unlike Formatize and Jimbo and many others. So. And we kept on developing these other systems like Jimbo and everything else, and people kept on saying, but we love Jim's Jobs. It's so easy to use. We just loved it, the way it operates. So eventually we just bit the bullet and said, okay, we're going to use Jim's Jobs. That's the structure people want. Let's develop that one.
Okay, cool. And then let me just go through the comments and questions here. Keep coming, guys. We're getting on there. Sorry, Eleanor said before she's a dog wash trainer, so helping to train our grooming team. So that's great. So she must be a master groomer, and she's helping our Jim's Dog Wash franchisees do some great jobs. I love Jim's Dog Wash because on Instagram, I know they have everything's Jim's Dog Wash because I follow all the accounts. Dog wash, dog wash, dog wash, dog wash, maybe mowing or something. Dog wash, dog wash, dog wash.
They do a great job of promoting themselves,
they do.
That's for sure.
Who doesn't love dogs? All right, and then Jay Shipston 5's gone, are you finding more interest in your franchise after the COVID-19 pandemic and people losing their jobs? Question mark.
Yes. Prospect leads are going up. We've had a few people actually pause their purchase because of the just concern about how things are going. Yeah. But we're looking forward to getting in-person training back next month too, so that'll really start to... I predict that over the next 12 months we'll probably have our best growth year for a long, long time, and that's because so much of the economy is in a shambles, and we've got work. In fact, we've got more work than we can handle still.
It's going up as well, and that's the thing, it's not going down.
Yes. Yeah.
And James Halligan, does Jim want to sponsor the RBB, which is the fan group of Western Sydney? We never know, we'll keep going with that. I like the RBB, they're good. I'll keep going down here. Graham French, so Jim's Jobs will be coming out to use on our mobile phones, question mark.
Yes, basically mobile phone. You can use it on your PC at home, but it's designed so you can carry your diary,
on our phone,
everything about you. So when a job comes in, instead of having to copy it in and stuff, it just gets plunked straight into your database.
That's it.
Touch the thing, ring the client, just arrange the appointment, whatever. It makes it very simple, very much mobile phone.
There we go. And Aaron Warner's gone, so when do we see announcement of the Jim's A-League? Well, we never know. There's a lot of demand for this thing. I'm pushing for it. David McDonald's goes, franchisors don't have any money. They are always crying poor. LOL.
We're all crying poor.
That's a good answer. Yeah, there we go.
I don't think anybody's got surplus money lying around and think, what can I actually use this for? There's always... Yeah. Even with us, we're always scratching. We're actually... increasing our spend on $30,000 a month in IT development so that we can get Jimbo really expanded and working better. It's just there's always something really useful to do with money. We never have enough, I can tell you.
Taylor Alcock's gone here. Taylor from Jim's Clinic. I'm using the Jim's Jobs app now. Well, only just starting to, and it's so far it is great. Is there a plan to integrate this with accounting software like QuickBooks, Xero, etc., so that the invoicing system is all in one?
Yeah, you can link it up with Xero.
You can link it up with Xero now or later?
As far as I know, that's ready to go already.
Okay.
As far as I've been told, it is. It should link with Xero.
Well, if it's not there, Taylor, absolutely the plans to quickly, obviously, have it available for that.
Yeah, I was told it would be, but if it's not, it's not. I was a bit surprised this thing about the fact that they don't have the Formatize download program ready, which I thought was ready.
Yeah,
but as Joel said, if it's not ready, it'll be very soon. Our plan also, because with Jim's Jobs, it's not just going to be to develop it and that's it. We're going to have a major push to expand it, to use it for other divisions like pest control and to make it useful for them. Also to just put more features in, more things that will help you to avoid unfair complaints and just more and more developments.
That's it. So let's keep going there as well. Thank you very much for that, Taylor, and that feedback. That's really good. The Malcolm Bradley from Jim's Test and Tag NZ has gone, yep, very busy with catch-up of 6 weeks of work, plus the stuff now due, and also new work. Great time for anyone looking at getting in Test and Tag, so fingers crossed we get some good inquiries come our way over in NZ.
It's a great division, Test and Tag. We've got the lowest attrition of any Jim's division, which is something to be very proud of.
And then Joel Ryan's gone regarding the book. No, I did get one at training, but I'd love to get his dad one, as he's a big fan of yours, Jim.
Yeah, sure.
All right, I will do that then. Done.
Anything for my franchisees.
Neil Simpson. But Joel was the one who gave the Test and Tag guy up in ACT or the loan of the I think the loan of the equipment. Remember that mowing equipment? So
really?
That was Joel. I'm pretty certain.
Fantastic.
The Neil Simpsons. G'day, Jim and Joel. So hi, Neil. Thanks for watching. Wayne's gone. You're loving the Jim's Jobs mobile app using the iOS version. Well done, guys.
Excellent. Thank you.
That's good feedback, Jim. I'm loving that.
We're very pleased. We're very pleased. We haven't had surprisingly few negatives about it. I must say. I mean, we've done a lot of testing. It's been tested for months actually.
That's been the delay, right? The testing and all the initial build. And stuff,
yeah, we had it actually working back in February, but we just keep on putting it out and saying, and then you get some problems and go back and test more and test wider groups.
And then Stuart Rainbows, this is a good suggestion actually. He goes, I've spoken Ask Infotech for a guest speaker for Jim's Jobs for our meeting, which would have been virtual. A shame to hear that it is only available via videos. I'm sure most franchisees and franchisors will take a lot out of this during a group regional interactive training session. So he's saying even though we're doing videos, it's probably better if we have an interactive available session, which I'm sure I guess we could organise. But
well, Stuart, you can always come here. If you want to run a meeting here, if you want to, I'm sure there's somebody who can explain it to you. There's plenty of spaces. I know your region's a bit down south somewhere, but still.
I know we can probably run an interactive virtual, let's say, like class with this stuff. We could if we wanted to, and franchisees could log on to whatever and watch it. I don't know. We could definitely do that. Yeah,
but we've got like 300 regions, so getting people to travel all over the country would probably be difficult. We're hoping that franchisors, it's not a difficult program to use. It really is not hard to use with a bit of basic guidance and so forth, and hopefully franchisors will actually play with it too, so you'll be able to explain it to your franchisees as well.
Yeah, Mike's generally pretty good, hopefully, explaining these things, so that's hopefully Mike has downloaded the app and he's doing it, which I've asked him to do before he comes on Thursday and Friday. And Sharon Connell's tuning in, so g'day to Sharon, so thank you for always watching and your support. And Franchisee Inquiry Masterclass, if you haven't watched it yet as a franchisor, please do. It's really, really good. Then Eric Jurgen's gone, Joel, I did miss the interview with Jim that you were going to put up last week, the one where an atheist took on Jim to speak. Yeah, I would say.
He's the atheist.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, Eric. I haven't uploaded it to the page because it's like 40 minutes. It's just taking me ages to upload it. So we've had issues with Facebook uploading. So it's definitely in there. And it was a one-way street, I reckon, with Jim just walking all over me, Eric. So there's not much to probably see. You say Jim picks on me all the time. That's a good example of that as well in that one. Then David McDonald's got inside. I didn't see it either. I'm uploading it to Facebook shortly. It's on YouTube though. If you go there, you can find it. Then Dave McDonald's going to Eric Cappuccino with 1 sugar, please.
Yeah, we're gonna actually change the Jims.net.
Yeah, we're going to. Yeah.
There's a section called Meet Jim, which has got a whole lot of stuff on it, including people teaching you about handyman stuff. So what we're going to do is take everything out and just put all the stuff that I've done on that page.
Yeah, the boys are really organising it. So Jim called me in. It makes a bit of sense. I've just been a bit lazy. It's my fault. So we're reorganising the page to be a bit
I was trying to find the video that I did on cutting long grass. Yeah. Which I have a way of doing it. So but I didn't know where it was. So I couldn't find it on our own source.
Yeah, we changed the layout, so it's going to get a lot more easier. Ed Sullivan's gone, hi, Jim's plane service. So we get the plane service right one, the old Jim Airlines. But as you say, if you're a rich man, you want to lose your fortune, buy an airline. Eric Jurgens, I have to say that out of all the divisions, that Dogwash are the friendliest, as they always toot back when I toot them and say hello whilst out driving.
Yeah, good. Well, we encourage everybody to do that. If you see a fellow Jim, any division, just wave, hello, toot, whatever. Make a greeting.
I don't think you can be grumpy when you're working with dogs all day, right? You have dogs all day, give them a pat.
There's a special spirit in that division. It really comes from the top. Sharon is a very lovely lady, and that sort of warmth and so forth spreads. They're a lively bunch.
That's it. Then Bridget Boyd's gone, what is required to earn the Green Book? It's a good question, but it's...
Good question,
but a good question or comment, Bridget. So anything... I'll give you a hint around science or history or something a bit off kilter to ask Jim.
Yeah, anything different is always good for the Green Book.
That's it. Anything different. Bridget Boyd, leave on there. And Steve Beck's gone, hi Jim and Joel, had an awesome day on the job with Graham Wilson, Northern Beaches Mowing franchisor yesterday. Good. He's a top operator and gave me real insight into how a business works day to day.
Excellent.
I don't know if you're a prospect, but that's interesting, Steve. That's cool because we have trial days.
Yeah.
So
If you're interested in the business, I always say the thing you got to do two things that are really, really important. One of them is to go on a trial day, find out whether you actually like it, how much money you can make. You'll get a very clear idea. And the other is to speak to as many franchisees in that region as you possibly can. If you've done both of those things and you pass with flying colours, well, that's a good business.
Yeah, and I also think people get bogged down. They go, send me all the financials, send me all the info. Just go on a trial day. They'll tell you the best thing about it. Just go on a trial day, look at it. Then Sharon's gone here. Will there be webinars to learn Jim's jobs like there was for Formatise that franchisees can watch? There's going to have to be. So we did webinars. So when we had the whole Formatise thing, we recorded the live sessions and uploaded them to YouTube as a playlist. So we are doing that, Sharon. I don't know if it's going to be a webinar, but it'd probably be more of a polished video with Mike Davenport running through it.
But Jim's jobs is a lot easier than Formatise. We had a lot of problem trying to teach people Formatise. It was one of the reasons we got disillusioned with it, you might say.
Well, Jim's jobs, I've got the mobile app on my phone right now, and you've had a look as well. Hopefully it's very simple. That's the whole point of it, I guess.
Yes.
For that one.
Yes.
But we're going to have videos with Mike Davenport made, hopefully very soon.
We'll have a lot more information.
Yeah. Dave McDonald's gone, I looked at Formatise and could never get my head around it. Switched to Service Mate. Jim's jobs has a lot of potential. I'll look at it more and maybe even switch it into financial. Give
it a try and just tell us what you think about it. But so far, every feedback we've had is ease of use is very, very, very good.
Now, puts a good point here, David, because he's a Jimbo user. He goes, can we transfer invoices from Jimbo to Jim's jobs?
Jimbo?
Yeah, because he's using Jimbo.
For invoicing?
Yeah, it must be. Can we transfer invoices from Jimbo to Jim's
jobs?
Sorry.
Yeah, the Jimbo, the franchising program. Absolutely you can. You can transfer Jim's Classic, you can transfer Jimbo, you can transfer Formatise. That's all part of the plan.
So how does he go about setting that up? It's not available yet, is it? But it will be soon. Because that'd be specific for the antennas division. Obviously, a lot of them.
I thought it was already done. It's a bit embarrassing. I should have checked before coming on and asked Jim, but I thought it had already been done. I just heard somebody tonight said that it's they've been told end of the month, which is obviously too long. You can't change overnight. But it's all designed to be very, very easy to get your data out and into Jim's jobs.
Cool. And then Dave McDonald's gone, Jim, I need less work, not more. That's a good problem to have. Then Jay Shipston Fire's gone, how many franchises for dog wash can you have?
Actually, if you need less work than not more, put your prices up. There's a clue to you.
There you go.
Add 10% to your quotes and see how you go.
There you go, David. Be a richer man for it. What do you got to lose?
That's right. Yeah. If there's surplus work around, don't be cheap. It's like when I see a franchisee who's really flat out and I see they've only got $1 sign. I say, you're not losing enough quotes. Put your price up. You might be very surprised how much you're going to earn.
And then we get next one here. Jay Shipston Fife's gone, how many franchises for dog wash can you have in one area? Question mark.
Well, the interesting thing is the more you put in, the more work there is. It's a peculiar pattern, and it applies to most divisions, actually. Divisions that struggle for lack of work tend to be new ones just starting out. An example would be Robotic, as I mentioned before. The more franchises you have in an area, usually the easier it is to find jobs. So as you get more people into dog wash, we find the leads jump. You know, you got to go from 10 to 20 franchisees in an area. The work more than doubles.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting thing. People think, there's another one in my area, I was still going to take on my work, but it's not the case.
Every time somebody drives down the road with that bright red van and that logo, people look at it and say, oh, wow, they're all over the place. And then they think about it and they call us.
There we go. So
saturation doesn't work that way.
If you're interested, Jay, just inquire, and they can show you on the unserviced work in the area as well, which is a good guide. That's
actually a great way to investigate. In fact, people talk to me about a business. I very commonly actually send them a list of the unserviced leads in the past few weeks and just show them how much work we're knocking back.
Now, I've got a couple of comments regarding Jim's jobs, which is great. So Taylor says he's using QuickBooks. So QuickBooks, was that a planned integration?
Yeah. QuickBooks and Xero, the two we want to integrate.
Cool. So Craig Watson's gone straight after him and says, yes, it does work well with Xero.
Oh, good.
Well, that's great. That's good to hear, because you've been told one thing, so we're going to go out there and kick their backside if that was the thing.
If somebody could tell me whether that's been able to download the Formatise information, I'd be very pleased to hear that one too, but that's what I don't know yet.
Yeah, thanks for that, Craig. That's really good. And Ed Sutherland's gone, Jim, do you have diesel mechanics?
No, we don't. It'd be a hard one to do because the Jim's brand is very strongly domestic. There is option differences like a test and tag will be a classic example, but our appeal has a very, very strong to the domestic consumer, and that's easy for us to get work in those sorts of divisions. Yeah,
we have a core. Think of it as a ring, right? You have your core, then your non-core, then right on the outer, right? So that would probably sit in that outer ring there.
Yeah.
So Craig Watson's gone, as I'm starting to use it, which is great. It's been testing it as well. So Craig,
thanks.
That's really,
we
really
really
good.
appreciate our testers, actually. We've had some great feedback. People have been trialling it and using it for us and coming back with ideas. And the team's just waiting there to jump on it. As soon as they get a bug back or any slight difference, even slowness of loading, anything at all, they're immediately jumping on it and saying, how can we fix it? So the more feedback we get, the better.
That's it. And Lavo, I think it's Lavo Bra's gone, I used to work in Jim's Trees. Can you tell me about the franchise, please?
Used to work in Jim's Trees?
Yeah, used to work in Jim's Trees. Tell me about franchise, please. That's the question.
It's a great business. I mean, I think trees people actually do tend to make a lot of money, and they're fairly busy.
A lot of turnover, high revenue, like it's. Yeah.
Look, I'd suggest it doesn't cost you very much to find out. I would approach them. You can just go through jims.net or ring 131546. Talk to the franchisor. Get out on the road. Spend some time with somebody. Look at what they do. You better have a good head for heights. Look at how much they earn too, which is very interesting. Yep. You might be quite surprised the earnings of those. The people can make in that sort of job. I know I had some trees taken down from my yard by dead trees by Jim's Trees. I don't know what the hourly rate was. It was a lot, but they were very professional. Didn't mind paying it. And then actually, as I said, get a list of the current franchisees in the area and ring them and ask them what it's like. It's a very, very good division, very lucrative, very good money. You just have to be, not scared of heights.
And a lot of work in it. And Josh,
I think if I was doing something that wasn't mowing, I reckon trees would be up there because it's such an interesting job, and I love being outside. I love nature and this kind of thing.
Think like you have traffic management plans. You've got to have workers. You've got to have the climbing permits, all that sort of stuff.
And they're very strong on safety. One of their rules is you don't even go 1 meter off the ground without being secured.
Harnesses and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so it's really, really. I don't know of any accidents we've had in Jim's Trees at all.
No, I haven't heard of one, and I've been here for a long time. So guys, make sure you leave a comment, a like, or a share. It helps us out in the feed. So someone here's going again, Jim's A-League. So a few people coming over for the Jim's A-League. I'm loving it. Keep putting it in the comments. More weight, the better. Matthew Dwyer. Hi, Jim and Joel. A few weeks ago, there was some conversation about mobile phone numbers on trailers, which I understand. My question is if my home is actually in my territory, can I put a Jim's Mowing sign with my mobile number on it on the front lawn or the front fence?
As long as you're not on the main road, I guess. Where you have through traffic going through, I don't really mind.
Okay, so there's your answer, Matt. Yes is the answer. As long as you're not on a main road.
As long as you're not on a main road.
Not on a main road. You have other people from outside your territory driving.
The people driving past you are only going to be those who live nearby. I wouldn't have an issue with that. I mean, that's just an off-the-cuff answer. Maybe people would disagree with me.
They might disagree, so we might see in the comments in a couple
of minutes. Fundamentally, we just don't want to take away somebody else's territory rights, which using mobile phone numbers does.
Yeah, that's true. Just always be as generic with anything. Like even on the online stuff people do, just always be generic if you can. That's the safe way to do it. Eric Jurgens, did HR have a chat to Jim as he seems a lot nicer to you lately? Jim is HR, Eric. So there is no human resources. Remember that. Dave McDonald, Jim, I can't find anywhere in Jim's jobs for stock. How do I invoice an antenna, amp, and mount?
Infotech@jims.net.
Is there a stock thing in Jim's jobs yet or not? That was down the track.
I don't know.
I don't think it is.
I don't think there is.
No, I think David. Sorry for. I don't think there's stock stuff in there at the moment. That's definitely down the track.
Yeah. Well, basically, what we've been planning to do is to do something that'll do everything that Formatize does. I mean, that's our initial. Formatize is quite an advanced program. We just want that kind of thing, but easier to use. We're planning everything down the track of it. We'd like to actually expand the accounting, bookkeeping section to the extent that most franchisees don't need Xero or QuickBooks. That'll be part of our aim because we want to keep your cost to a minimum. So when you paid your technology fee, that covers everything. That would be our ideal.
The good goal to have. Now, Tukey Johnston's gone here. Man, so wish I had the funds to join. Love everything about the dog wash division. And he's saying, I went out for a training day and he's saying it was awesome. But finance is always an issue, unfortunately, sometimes.
I was speaking to Sharon Connell about this, and actually, in fact, that was part of the blog she did, and she says she'll never not. People just don't fail to get a business for lack of finance. They'll always work out some way of doing it. They lease the trailer, work out vendor terms, something. I'd be very surprised if you couldn't get a franchise if you really want one. If you've got what it takes.
That's it. So we've got a lot of people watching now, which is great still. So please share, comment, or like on the feed. So Taylor Alcock's gone, I beep and wave to any of the Jim's vehicles I pass. Most of them wave back and beep too.
Excellent.
Like a little family. That's great.
It is.
And here we go, David Gazilla. David Galizia. I have a question for Jim. Does Jim do teaching?
Teaching? I teach all the time.
Oh, sorry. Is there Jim teaching or do you do teaching? Yeah.
No, we don't have Jim's tutoring. We actually like that one. It'd be a great business to have, great division to have. If anybody wants to start that up, Jim's tutoring. My daughter Jasmine used to do tutoring when she got a really good year 12 basis, and the next year she did tutoring and she was really good at it.
There we go. And John from Ace has gone here. I get my new franchisees to download TeamViewer, and if they have any issues with Jim's jobs or not sure how to do something, I log into their computer and we do a training session on what they need to do or know. I'll also be promoting this to my current franchisees who want to go across to the new Jim's Jobs web. So that's good. John logs in on their computer and looks at their screen, I presume, and then walks them through it, which is fantastic. I think that's a big part of it, Jim, is the franchisors. The franchisors are the product champions. So I know Paul King, for example, with Jim's Jobs was a massive fan of it, and he has all this material made up for it. And
he's been very helpful to us in testing it and working out how to make it better.
Then A-League memes is watching. Is Jim's A-League really happening? Oh, I don't know, OCS. It could be. It could be. Just stay tuned.
I can't believe there's that many soccer fans. I wouldn't even know what A-League was until tonight.
Scratch that answer, just ignore that. He does know what A-League is, and we've actually been uploading shirts with some logos on it. It looks good. Graham French, Graham French has gone, how come I can't find the app to download? Have we got it available for download for everyone yet, or is it the beta test still?
Yeah, you can download the beta test one.
Yeah, infotech@gyms.net, Graham. That's what the email is. And they'll give you
just pass it. Yeah. And I've downloaded it myself. It's on my phone.
Yeah, we've got it on our phone now.
On my phone here. It's just sitting there.
So infotech@gyms.net, and that's the way to go. Now I've got you've got it on there.
There it is. Jim's Jobs. You can see it with the camera, but it's just there.
So Graham, email infotech@gyms.net and say send me the material for the download, and I'll give it to you as well. No problem at all. And then Eric Jurgen's gone here. When you employ staff, do you go through Jim's training at Foothills? And if you do not think it might be good if they did, they would get more of an understanding how important customer service is and a better understanding of the gym system.
We would love to put staff through here. In fact, we offer discounts to people who want to put their staff through, but usually they don't, of course.
Then he's saying maybe the online system could stay in place so that if we employ staff, they could do it without the cost attached. Just the thought.
Yep, could be.
Depends which staff you're having. I don't know. You're talking about there, Eric. Most staff do it. We have been making most staff do the 3-day generic.
No, our staff internally at National do it. Yeah. I think he's talking about franchisee employees.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Eric. I think we have. Well, we have. How many employees do you reckon we have there out of, or subbies out of franchisees? It'd have to be thousands, wouldn't it? It's quite interesting.
Yeah, there'd be quite a few. We certainly love all of the franchisees to put their staff through. It's just quite a cost, especially when it's interstate.
Yeah, and there's an online option available, I guess, now, which might be something that they can maybe look at. It's a really good idea, actually, Eric. We'll have to write that one down. That's not a bad one because, but at the end of the day, the franchisee gets the complaint. So if their staff is doing a bad job, it's falling on the franchisee, so they're responsible. But it's a really good idea. Then David Gazilla saying, everyone try something new, give Jim feedback so he can quickly update it. Absolutely, that's what this is about.
Do that.
Fantastic. Colin Harper, do you see robotic auto mowers a threat or just a small player in the market?
I see them as an opportunity. We've actually been trialling one, and the way it works is that you set up a wire around the.
It's like a fence, a wire fence.
It's a wire fence which guides it, and then it just goes and cuts it automatically. It's a neat system. We said there's a great opportunity for us because we can go into some, and it's all electrical powered and stuff, so it's very quiet. We've been trialling one here, but
how did the trial go?
Oh, it works so fine. Works fine.
Yeah.
I don't know how far we've got with it and stuff, but with the virus and everything, it's got shut down. But basically, it doesn't mean there's no work. What it means is that somebody's got to go in. They've got to put the wire down. They are developing a thing for GPS. Then you've got to go and cut the edges, which it doesn't do, and then you've got to sort of just look at basic maintenance. So in actual fact, it is potentially a cost saver for the client, but it's still work for us. And like I said, we're not short of work. So if we can work out some things to do which are very lucrative, and you can sell the machines and get a margin on that, I see it as a very good opportunity for us.
I think it's a way off though from what I've seen. I know it's not, no offence to it, but I think it's a way off from what I've seen.
It depends on the environment. I can't see it going for domestic lawns anytime soon. But if somebody has an acreage, I could see it as being quite a good potential down the track area, especially when you can work out the outlines by GPS rather than using the wires they do now.
But even if you had an acreage, you'd still have to maybe get it to a stage where it could do it. You couldn't just dump it on something which was like this high.
No, you got to cut the grass first.
Yeah.
But once you cut it, the thing can just constantly. And what it does is it runs all over the lawn. Then it comes back and sits in this little place and recharges. We're actually trying to look at ways of having solar panels on the roof, so it's all totally self-contained.
It's like a bigger version of the vacuum ones. You know, the vacuum ones in the house, and they're always bumping into the wall like a thinger. So, I don't know.
I see that as a good potential. Well, the other thing too is one thing that you won't do, won't change its own blades. So someone's got to go and check that kind of thing. So there's actually a bit of work involved. I can see it as being a good business down the track of it.
Well, if it takes off, we could obviously adapt the model. Is the outcome for that one?
Technology is our friend. I mean, we have done massively well. The kind of stuff we do in gyms these days with customer service and surveys and stuff would not have been possible in the past without technology. That's why we invest so heavily. We've spent millions upon millions of dollars developing these technologies because it gives us an advantage in the marketplace.
So let's keep going here. Dave McDonald's with feedback's gone. I've already put my prices up. I can't charge $1,000 an hour. So Dave McDonald, I don't know how much you price them. Maybe they're still too low.
$1,000 an hour.
Maybe put them up a bit more and give it a crack. Then Daniel Blythe's going to announce the A-League major...
My father was he was a consulting engineer, and he decided he wanted to slow down his workload because he was getting too much work. So he put his prices up. It didn't slow down enough, so he kept on putting his prices up and up and up and up. And he just found it hard. He said, the beggars keep on paying me. So it's not a bad idea. You might be very surprised at how much people will pay if they're happy with the service.
Why not give it a crack, David? You're obviously gun at what you do, so why not? Just keep testing the limits, do it as an experiment.
Yeah, just try and the next one you quote for. You might be very that's the typical reaction I get from franchisees. They often say, oh well, people won't pay me anymore, and I say try it. And they try it and they say, wow, it worked.
Then you send Jim a check in the mail for all the extra work, you get extra money. Send him a nice gift. There we go. All right.
Send me a referral, someone to buy a franchise. That's what I like more than anything. I need that more than money. I need people.
There we go. Then Daniel Blythe's going to announce the A-League major sponsorship. So it's getting a lot of legs. Come and hang on. Stay tuned to the end. Leave some questions and we'll do it. Luke O'Neill goes, I know Sunshine Coast franchisor Brendan Raggett has been having a play with the new Jim's jobs. He says it was very impressive. I was thinking about using a service software like Jobber, but I'm now holding off. I can't wait to be able to run more of the business on my phone.
Yeah, Jim's Jobs is going to be better than anything because it'll be specifically tailored for our use and all kinds of things. It'll do things like warn you if you haven't rung somebody back. It'll text the client with an appointment as to when you're coming. So if you book an appointment between, say, 10 and 2 on Thursday, if the client rings up on Wednesday, we'll simply say, no, your appointment's booked for there. There's no complaint. There's no problem. But also, a text has gone out. So it's going to have many advantages. And the longer we go, we've got really big ongoing plans, the better it'll become.
And the ones you mentioned, Luke, are good products, which are Jim's, a Jobber and ServiceMate, but they're never going to be a Jim's specific program. Even though they might say the mowing industry, this one's going to be a Jim specific for the mowing service, for your one, Luke. So hopefully you like it and you can give it a go. We're looking forward to it. It's really good.
I haven't had anybody say they don't like it or they don't want to use it. Not one person so far.
Well, I'm loving the feedback from franchisors because I know sometimes with the IT in the past it could have been an issue, but I'm loving the positive feedback and please keep
We've
saying
had so many issues with Formatize. We had them with Jimbo.
Yeah.
The new Jim's job seems to be going over really well.
Touch wood, it keeps going on and doing well.
Yes.
Darren Kopp, hi Jim, I'm flat out. I'm in Forbes, New South Wales, mowing and gardening, spraying and hedging. 13 years now. Survived the floods and droughts. Hey Jim, tell us something.
I spoke to a 25-year veteran on Monday night.
25 years, fantastic.
Craig,
what was his name?
Craig.
Craig what, do you know? Can you remember? Which area? We'll have to give him a shout out next week.
Craig from Queensland.
Craig from Queensland, 25 years.
25 years, yeah.
We've got Lana and Run up there who did 30 years.
It was a great privilege to speak to somebody who's 25 years.
Quarter of a century in business. That must make you feel pretty good.
Yeah. What did he say? I think he said he started when he was 21 years old, and he just loves it. And he was looking at IT and did degree and stuff, and he got into this, and he says it's so much better.
I know Ben Ward started at 25, and I think he's now 46, a young 46. So it's fantastic to hear this. And then he goes, "Hey Jim, tell us something about Joel we may not know." Question mark. I don't know what you're going to say.
Well, he does pretty strange things in temples in
yeah. I'm not allowed to. Apparently, yeah. We'll leave that up to your imagination there. But congratulations on that many years in business. It's awesome. Then Dave McDonald's gone, can we see unserviced leads from other divisions in gyms online, or can this be added? It would help to sell franchises from franchisees. Yeah,
actually, they should be there available. If you can actually. Well, if you email me, I'll give you information that you want, but you can actually have it reported to your franchisees. There's an option now in the miscellaneous, so you can actually tell your franchisees the unserviced leads from other divisions in your area.
Oh, so Dave McDonald's a franchisee though, at a franchisee level.
Yeah, as a franchisee, you can actually have a look If you go into your section and you can ask to be given the unserviced leads from other divisions in your region, in your area, and you can see what's around. The reason for that is because with the crisis, we had people who wanted to take jobs, who were a bit short of jobs from their own division, like say test and tag guys. So we wanted to open up to them to show them what else is available. So we had quite a lot of other divisions doing mowing work, for example, especially during April. When it was quiet.
Yeah, that was done in that suite. But Dave, maybe put your prices up from the sounds of it. I can't believe it. It's quite encouraging to hear that. Then Wade Aston's gone, hey guys, g'day Wade. Wade's the most commented person in Ask Jim history. Sorry, just had an abscess to burst. Jim, get on it. Jim's abscess poppers. That's the first one. That's a very first suggestion for that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd love to do things to do with health, actually. It's a fascinating area. I'm very interested in health. I'm listening to a talking book now called, what is it, Upstream. And it's talking about how we can... that's right.
Well, Jim's just on his phone on Audible having a look. He's got a lot of titles there. So what's the one you're looking for? Still looking?
Upstream. I'm sure it's called Upstream.
Upstream. We'll say Upstream.
It's got a little thing. It's talking about the way that it's talking about how we can help people in various ways by redesigning systems and so forth. One of the things he talks about is health.
There we go. Now, Steve Durant, so good evening. Just finished the online training, learned a lot. Was wondering if Jim could arrange for us to come to Melbourne, those who missed out on the 3-day training, to see the operations. Can't speak highly enough of Brent Davenport and how he is training me. More work coming in and haven't even finished training.
Excellent. We would love to see you. If you're in Melbourne at any time at all, just let me know, because make sure I'll be around. And I'd love to meet you and shake your hand once we're allowed to shake hands again and show you the whole operation, go to the call centre.
Yep.
Anything at all. That applies to any franchisee.
I'll give you a tour around the place.
Any franchisee, anyone in the world, you come to Melbourne, we want to see you. We'd love to see you.
But Steve, if you're doing the training still, only for people who are enrolled in the online course, you're doing an exclusive Q&A tomorrow night from 4 till 5. The Mike Davenport from 5 to 7, Steve. There was an email that went out to everyone who's enrolled in the course, so please do it and come on board tomorrow from 4 till 7 for Jim and Mike. You can ask them anything you want about the training to get that interaction. Matthew Dwyer, I'm on the main backyard, so I'll take that as a no, I can't. I'm a main back road. So this is Matthew Dwyer wanting to put the number on a mobile number on a sign at the front.
Yeah, if it's on a main road where you've got a lot of people travelling, no, it wouldn't be the greatest thing to do.
Then Wade's gone, how are you both? We're going all right, Wade, so thanks for tuning in. He says, Jim Tutors is a good idea. Absolutely.
Yeah, we just need someone to launch it. We need someone who knows that industry.
Maybe that could be you, Wade. Maybe that could be you, Wade. You're the most common through in gyms, and you haven't inquired, I don't think, about a franchise yet. So maybe you can be Jim's Tutors. Josh Sawyer's gone, hello from Josh Sawyer in Mowing, North Brisbane. Great to watch these videos. Yeah. Well, I think that's the first time you've been watching, Josh. That's a great one, and appreciate you commenting on this one. Now here we go, Darren Singleton. Who is actually the divisional of Jim's fencing? Haven't seen or heard from anyone that may be in that position.
Archie.
Well, who's the divisional technically?
Us.
Yep.
Jim's group is the divisional, but Archie's in charge. If you're not happy with your divisional, you can blame him.
Well, what do you want? I don't know what. Well, I guess your Zor's the one you want to hear from the most, but I don't know what they want from Archie, from the divisional. I don't know what you want.
If you're a franchisee, your franchisor is the person you'd speak to. Most franchisees don't have a lot to do with the divisional. Divisional is the one that supports the franchisors. But so
your franchisors every week jump on a call with Archie on a Saturday, actually. So I know that for a fact because I'm jumping on with him. So this week they do a lot of chat. So.
But if you want to chat to Archie, just
we'll put his email in there for you.
Yeah, Archie.hood@jims.now, I think it is.
He's a good fella, but he's not the best on the eye, as we said earlier. So definitely give him a call and have a chat to him.
Right. Don't ask for his photo. He'll turn you off completely. But he's a nice bloke.
That's right. So Dave McDonald's gone. I've seen the robot mower outside the conference centre. Still needs the edges done.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
it does.
That's true. Then Tracy Hayes gone. Love Jesse the dog groomer here in Hobart. That's great. Jim's dog watching Hobart and Tassie. That's really great to hear. Then Zach Rushbrook's gone. Jim, you're the man. Save the A-League. So the A-League's in trouble and Jim's is the man to save it. I completely agree, Zach. Thanks for that comment. Dave McDonald, my cat would sit on the mower and go for around the yard for free. That's not a bad one. The mower going around, the cat can just sit on it, be a bit of the pilot.
I'll tell you what, if you get your cat on the mower going around the yard, take a picture and we'll download it to social media. People love things with pets in them.
They do. That's why Doggers does extremely well on Instagram. Absolutely. Yeah. You can't do it.
Anything with dogs.
Then John Formosus are playing to Colin about the robotic mower. So John Formosus is a mowing franchisor. The units are far too expensive to have multiple units that you would leave at properties, and they would also get stolen. That's probably a good point. People would pick up, believe me, people would stick up a robot mower and steal it. So
yes.
Yeah. You never know. And Wade Aston's gone again, Jimbo to take on Uber. did we have Jim's taxis at some stage, or something was happening with it, or a long time ago?
Jim's limos. There was the thing about
yeah.
Jim's limos at one stage. That was a possibility. I wouldn't like to take on Uber. They're a bit too strong.
Yeah.
It's a bit like taking on McDonald's when you've got people who are very good at what they do and they've got billions of dollars in the bank.
There we go. Zach Rushbrook's gone here. 2 people want to start a business. Would you suggest partnership or a company business structure, and why? Good question, Zach.
Well, I mean, that's to do with tax more than anything else. But if you whatever you do, get yourself a very good agreement in place as to what's going to happen if you fall out. Because partnerships, whether they're in company form or not, have a very high breakup rate. So there's always got to be an arrangement for if things don't work out, what you're going to do. Who gets the assets? Do you negotiate to buy each other out? What is the deal? Get it properly drawn up. That's the only advice I give you.
And Wade, I'm going to ask this question to Jim, and if I get fired, it's your fault. Wade Aston's gone, you never asked last week, Jim, how his birthday was 2 Fridays ago. You're on the farm, just nothing changed? Nothing changed?
Nothing changed.
There we go, Wade.
I had a pretty good birthday. Nobody wished me happy birthday. That's ideal.
And that's I tell everyone in the office, do not do it. So that's there we go. Then Dave McDonald's gone, is vase pronounced vase or vase? For vase or vase? I don't know. That's the question from Dave McDonald. Is vase, V-A-S-E, pronounced vase or vase?
Well, I pronounce it as vase.
Yeah, I say vase.
Americans may say vase. I don't know.
Hopefully that's settled a dispute for you, David. That's an obscure one. That's a good one, though. It's different.
Mind you, I've got a friend from America, and he still hasn't. He's been here 20 years, still can't speak proper English. So
they might tell you the other way
don't
around.
trust his pronunciation.
They might tell you the other way around, though, with Americans. Adam Hatcher's gone. Is Jim's Jobs Classic going to be able to be imported to the new Jim's Jobs?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, of course.
So when Adam says that, do you mean download his data and stuff and upload it into them? It should be all there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the answer is yes.
Of course, Jim's Jobs Classic, yeah. Whatever you've got, whatever you're using, whether it's Jim's Jobs Classic or Formatize or Jimbo, yes, you can download your data, everything.
Then David's gone here. Love listening to everyone's questions. They have good questions for Jim. Absolutely, David. It's a rip-in tonight. So make sure you leave a question or a comment or share the feed. Actually, sharing the feed really helps us as well, make it go further. Then someone here, let's keep going down here. So Taylor Alcock. So far, the new app is working really well. I've had a few app crashes while doing one in particular thing. However, the IT guys have told me that the specific error has already been identified and will be fixed on the next release. Great work. Yeah, there has been. I've been playing around with it myself as well, Taylor. So there has been some times it gets stuck and whatever, but it's...
There's a whole stack of programmers basically working full-time on this. Anytime that any problem is identified, they're on it like anything. They just said it's our top priority, getting Jim's Jobs to work.
And David's gone, nope, only from antennas. And then a fam's gone here. Is the old Jimbo iPad app going to be continued now Jim's Jobs is available? So remember the old Jimbo iPad app, what happened to that? It's just not supported. It's still available, isn't it? Or are they still in use?
What's the difference between Jimbo and Jimbo iPad?
So remember the Jim's antennas Jimbo version?
That is Jimbo.
Yeah.
Because Jimbo was originally the antennas program.
Correct. So Jimbo, the one you're talking about now, is the franchisor program, but it was previously applied the name to something else.
Yeah, we just changed the name.
Correct.
But
so he's asking if it's going to be continued.
No.
No.
Jimbo's gone. Jim's Jobs is so much better than Jimbo ever was. The old franchisee program, Jimbo. Jimbo for franchisors is great. We're getting rave responses from anybody franchisors who haven't tried Jimbo. The franchisors Jimbo, have a go, because franchisors actually love it. But the old Jimbo, the franchisee program, that's obsolete now. And
then but no, I think people use it, but it's just not supported. So if there's any issues with it, there's no support, which is the thing. And Taylor Alcock's going, does Jim have a preferred mental health app which could be passed on to the franchisees? My employer before I joined Jim's had one. In the current environment, there would have to be a real call for it.
If you've got any ideas, send them to me, jim@jims.net. I'd love to know. I haven't heard of such a thing, actually. We have mental health training. We're doing a lot of stuff to do with that these days. We're very concerned about it as an issue. I haven't seen an app that is great, but if you know something, love to hear it. Or if anybody does, love to know about it. Yeah, just forward on what you used at your old one, Taylor. It would definitely be something, maybe a third party thing we could integrate. I don't know. It's something that you wouldn't want to take lightly if you know what I mean. So it's a major issue. I mean, we haven't. It's like people sometimes they have strange preferences. I mean, like everybody's terrified of the virus, but no Jim's franchisee or family member that I've heard of has ever got one, or any of their staff has ever been infected. Yet mental health problems are widespread. We hear about them all the time. We've had several franchisees commit suicide over the years.
And I think, but it's just a reflection of the society, right? As I said, it's a microcosm gyms, and that's the same sort of numbers, and it happens everywhere.
Oh, I don't think we have more suicide.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's a reflection,
But it's very close to home, because gyms is a bit like a family. So when somebody, even if I've never met them or I don't remember them, when somebody gets into trouble, it's kind of like in the family. So it hurts us a lot.
Yeah, and I know franchisors take it very seriously as well. It takes a toll on franchisors because they've got to, they talk to the franchisees a lot, and I know it drains them a bit too as well.
Yeah, I know one franchisor was actually saying that he wanted to get out of being a franchisor simply because the stress, the emotional stress of dealing with franchisees sometimes can get to him.
But the answer is no, Taylor. So if you flick through to Jim at gyms.net, what you had at your or what his suggestion is, I recommend it's great.
We'd like to have a look at it and see if we can use it. We will do anything we can to help our franchisees with those kinds of issues.
And if you ask someone who's maybe has some issues, please speak to a doctor or something like that and get some help. And David Gazilla's gone, plus everyone don't be shy to ask questions to Jim. He's answering all the questions, which he always does. He says, Joel does a beautiful job to read the questions, the best live stream. That's nice, David. Thank you very much. I'll send the check in the mail. Then Dave McDonald's gone to me, I think you need to get Wade on as a guest. Wade on as a guest. Well, if you make it down,
he's
Wade,
almost on. He's on half the time anyway. We just don't see him.
That's true. Oh, he's every second comment, Wade. He's the man. He makes it hard for me to read the comments, though, even with this program I've got behind here. It's quite funny. Then Taylor Alcock's gone, for example, there's a thing called the Resilience Project. It's an EAP, Employee Assistance Program, which was like a phone line they could call. So he's saying there was a phone line program they could call at work if they had a problem. So I guess we could put something into Jim's jobs, maybe.
Phone line program? You mean being up against an automated answer?
No, it wouldn't be automated. It maybe just be like a support line or reroute it. I don't know, Taylor, you're probably best before I stuff that one up. But
we have our own lines. We've got franchisees who act as mentors.
Mentors.
So if anybody's got an issue, it's you can go through Gyms Online. You can actually find somebody who's a franchisee confidentially in the same kind of area as you are, these people have volunteered out of the goodness of their heart without getting paid to help you out. So whatever we can do for you, we will.
There we go. And then Helen's gone here. Jim's eats to take on Uber Eats. Yeah, as Jim was saying before, it's a big one, Helen. So thanks for that comment. And then Dave McDonald's gone, Jim, what do you recommend for FPOS for franchisees? Bank or Square or something else?
Oh, I've got no particular.
I like Square, David, but that's just me. Yeah. No particular inference either way for him.
They all seem to work reasonably well.
Yeah, you can't do cash anymore. No cash, it's dirty. So you can't give cash anywhere. So
yeah, I think it's healthy actually. It's been great during. I mean, even if this virus happened a few years back, it would have been very different. But cash is largely gone. I've hardly paid cash for ages. Like, you just wave your card, and everybody does it.
Then Wade's gone, where's my invite, Jimbo? He's invited you on, Wade. You're the most common in person, so come on down.
Yeah.
Then Dave McDonald's gone, people from South Australia don't speak English either. It's not nice to have South Australian franchisees.
Yeah, well, I guess you get proper, Melbourne English and everybody else. The further you get away, the worse you become. New Zealanders are not too bad, but fish and chips and jums and that kind of thing. And then you get to places like America and stuff, and they're off in the boondocks.
There we go. We'll keep moving. Adrian Disney's gone, just saying hi from sunny Darwin. Running a Mowing franchise and loving it. Looking at putting a second child on the road as I can't keep up with the work.
Excellent. Yeah, well, especially in Darwin, we could do with 50 franchisees in Darwin. That's for sure.
Now, Zach's asked a technical question here. I don't know if we can answer this one and give financial advice, but he's gone, what are the key taxation differences between a company and a partnership structure? Very intelligent question. Almost too intelligent for this show sometimes.
It's not. Look, you really have to look at what you want to do, and you have to talk to a financial advisor. I certainly wouldn't give you those kinds of things. In fact, if I wanted to know, I'd ask my financial advisor myself. I wouldn't even begin to.
There's a government website on how to start a business, and it has that all, Zach, laid out for you really, really simply with examples.
Get a competent tax accountant and just ask them what's best for your situation. It'll depend. It's not going to be the same answer for everybody.
But true. We mainly see sole traders and companies. They're the two. In partnerships, are probably not as common.
Yeah, the only thing I'd ever say, as I said before, is whatever you do, company, partnership, get yourself a good agreement that defines very clearly what's going to happen if it doesn't work out. Don't assume it's going to work out. And I just say that because I haven't heard great issues about people using the wrong structure from a tax point of view, but I have so many issues, people having a wrong structure in terms of having a conflict with their partner and not being able to get out of the arrangement. That's
true. Rosalie Mustic has gone, are you going to sponsor the A-League? Absolutely. Boban Bulgaric, a nice Croatian name, saying Jim's A-League as well. There's heaps of demand. Luke O'Neill, Jim, there is a high-vis tradie shirt called Trademut. They support mental health. Now, this is quite interesting. There's a couple of clothing companies for tradies that have aligned interests, so they might have a different colour or whatever it is. So they have mental health charities with the high vis gears. So we have seen a bunch of them around, Luke. So that's quite interesting to know. And then David Gazella gone, Jim, did you see the RC 4-wheel drive big dump truck? He's saying, have you seen this? Do you like remote control cars at all? Have you ever seen them? He's saying there's a big dump truck one. Have you seen it? Says it's pretty awesome. I don't think you would have seen it, but you wouldn't be adverse to it if you go and bring it in. Taylor Alcock's gone, I don't have any issues. I was only curious as I do take mental health seriously. It could also become a division if managed properly.
Mental health.
Yeah, he suggested. Maybe I don't know how that would go. We did have an OH&S thing that used to go around. Remember that back in the day? Monet or something? Yeah, a long time ago. I don't know.
Look, Jim's counselling would be one we wouldn't mind doing, I must say. Just having the right people running. I think there's a demand for that kind of thing. Yeah,
he's saying it could be. Yeah, absolutely. I think Jim's does take mental health seriously as well. I know you're quite passionate about it, and that's what a lot of your money goes into, doesn't it?
Yeah, my research program is basically, that's one of its main functions, is to look at certain forms of mental illness and how we can deal with them. We've got some very good guidelines on that. Resilience is one of them, actually. In fact, I was just having a meeting earlier this week, a Zoom meeting with my research team, including my son. And one of the things we're looking at is resilience, how you measure it, and what the biochemistry, what the brain activity is, and looking at ways to actually increase it so that people don't get so downhearted and so anxious.
How to increase resilience? Right. What are you finding in that? Like, is resilience developed during childhood, or is it something that's developed later in life? Or how?
Well, one of the interesting findings is that whereas chronic stress is very bad for you, occasional sharp stresses are actually very good for you. In fact, one of the reasons that exercise is good for you is because it's actually a stressor. It's a short-term stressor, but it's not like a chronic stress. It's an immediate stress. Or fasting, for example. All these things have a short-term stressing. So we call it eustress. So certain conditions like that, or cold showers is another example too. And all these things are known as ways of improving mood and improving resilience. But what we're also looking to do is ways to artificially, using things like microRNAs to change epigenetic settings.
MicroRNAs, maybe you want to explain for people what a microRNA is?
Well, RNA is like the messenger that takes the message from the genes to make it do something. Everything works by messengers within the brain. So what you're actually doing is figuring out what messengers you want to create, and then basically it's like sending a different message to say, hey, you're a different kind of person. And just changing the way that genes work and so forth. Okay. So we're looking at these ways of actually being able to achieve this, and I think it's actually very promising as a line of research.
There you go, quite interesting developments there. The Josh Kavanagh's gone, is Gyms Plus growing? ?
Yes, it's doing very well actually. We were knocked a bit down by the crisis, partly because our own guys were taking more of the work that was available. But we had, just last week, I think we had very close to the record week again, so it's roaring back.
There we go. And then Justin Bloomfield has gone, hi guys, Jim, your influence runs deep. A friend of mine copied you by sitting on a fitball at his computer. Has been doing it for ages, even though his workmates laugh at him.
Yeah, I didn't even mention that. Actually, we did that blog today, I didn't even mention that. But,
True,
but
yeah.
I always sit on when I'm at my desk. I've got one at the office and one at home. I never sit on a chair if I can avoid it. And then you're always moving around a bit, and you keep your body more active.
That's it. Yeah, we did do a big podcast and where we do fitness and exercise and stuff today. And I think you talked about picking up llama poo as well as some exercise onto the truck.
Yeah, I had great fun at the weekend actually at my farm. I got 6 large rubbish tins of llama poo and put them on the vegetable garden. It was fantastic fun.
There we go. My idea for an ideal weekend.
That's how I spend my time. And it was beautiful days too. It was really, really fine weather and cold weekend. And it was really good.
Very lucky. Derek Jurgen's gone, I still take cash and there hasn't been a listed spread via cash yet, and I used Square when I started. It was 80% cash. Now it's 75% EFT.
Yeah.
So it uses Square, just a tap and go. Then Wade's gone over here, which is Wade's daughter. Can I please have a teddy Jim? Don't know, can she have a teddy?
I don't know. How
much merch do you have, Wade? I think we've given you a heap of merch. You know, open up your own store.
This is Wade's daughter.
Wade's daughter. If this is Wade's daughter typing it, can you type yes that is Wade's daughter? It is me. I don't know. What teddy do you want? We have different shirts and stuff. I guess we could spare one.
Yeah, for Wade, I guess he's a...
Righto, Wade. There you go.
But tell us what shirt you want.
Yeah, you have to put in what shirt you want because there's different divisions. So it can be a generic gyms one like this, or there can be mowing, there can be mobile cafe, even it can be antennas. We have different shirts.
Have we got a mobile cafe one?
We've got shirts for most divisions. I'm pretty certain. Hopefully, if we do as well, or I'll get in trouble. All right, and then Dave McDonald's going to say, RNA, I'd like my wife giving me messages to do things. Very clever there as well. So we'll definitely do that as well. So what we'll do, guys, it's 8:04 now. We've had Jim on for just over an hour of time. The questions was great today. It was the Jim's Jobs focus, and I know it was great for franchisees.
It was good to hear that, actually. I'm really pleased to hear the reaction has been fantastic.
Well, it was a good suggestion from Haydar initially to sort of change it towards more franchisee sort of questions and stuff, and we have customers who jump in and out. So it was good to definitely have that focus today, and we can package it up and make sure you keep giving feedback to Jim. But it's really positive. So we do have a new podcast out with Jim, which will be out probably Friday, and we'll put the other one tonight or tomorrow if for those on the Facebook page who wants to do it. So until next week, Jim, thanks for doing this, and we'll see you next week at 7 o'clock again Wednesday night. So have a good night, guys.